Hi, I'm Simon Rushton and this is Taxi Chronicles Podcast. On this podcast, we spontaneously interview unsuspecting passengers with their permission, allowing them to share their intimate life stories and concerns. As our slogan states, real riders, real stories. Some riders prefer to be anonymous, while others ask me to tell their story later on. Either way, there are all genuine 5 to 10 minutes stories, so sit back and enjoy this episode. Evening. Yes, we're back. It's Simon here, of course, with a rider called Tom.
Hey, how's it going?
And I've decided that I've put on some weight and I'm going to be doing equivalent of a keto diet, and I was going to actually only have carbs once a week on a Friday, but now I've met Tom and Tom said he did 3 months with no carbs.
Yep.
And he lost lots of weight. I'm going to do that.
And I'm a little guy as well, so it's difficult for me to lose the weight. So
Okay. Well, they say the slimmer you are, it's harder to lose weight. If you're really humongous, you lose weight quickly, especially when you're exercising and stuff like that. So,
fun, isn't it?
So Tom, tell us about how your experience in your keto, your 3 month.
Well, at first I really struggled to adapt to it. I like cooking, so the idea of what I was going to put in my body wasn't a problem. I knew what I was going to eat, but I struggled with my body just adapting to it. And I basically not collapsed, but I kind of had flu-like symptoms for 2, 3, 4 days, something like that. And then after my body was able to start figuring out what it was doing, it was like, right, okay, we're in ketosis, and it worked. And I lost, I don't know, maybe 3-4 kilos, something like that, over a few months, a couple of short months. So for me, that was enough. That was what I needed to shift. You said you were working out. Were you working out every day? And if so, what kind of exercise? Yeah, so I do a kettlebell program.
Okay, that's good.
Called.
What weight?
It was 16. I've just moved to 24.
Okay.
And again, I'm not a big guy. I'm 65 kilos at the moment and 5'10". So
that is light, isn't it?
I'm light, yeah.
I'm 110. Actually, probably 120 now. That make yourself feel good. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I play a lot of badminton. I play badminton 3-4 times a week, sort of club league level, so competitively. So I'm losing, I don't know, when I play for 2 hours, I'm losing sort of 600 calories.
Okay.
If I play competitively, so it's very difficult to keep the weight up. So my problem is the opposite. So what I was trying to do with the keto diet was to cut a bit of fat, but at the same time I also needed to put some muscle on.
Yeah, lean.
Exactly. So I need to be fast, explosive. I need to be quick, so I don't want to be heavy. I can't put a lot of big muscle on because it slows you down. Yeah,
you want density.
Exactly.
So you do a lot of calisthenics.
Yeah, exactly. Training. Yeah, a lot of jump squats and all that kind of stuff.
But see, the calisthenics, that jump squats.
Yeah.
I'm not. Maybe some older now. I'm in my mid-40s, but the impact sports like that. I'm not sure if I'd get into that right now.
It's tough as well, yeah, because badminton is very high impact. There's a lot of jumping. Tennis is very low impact because you just run from dot to dot and you hit.
You stop and twist.
Exactly. There's a lot of moving around, dashing around, twisting, jumping, diving.
Okay.
So it is difficult on the knees. So a lot of the kettlebell stuff that I do, in between when I was doing, I still am doing the kettlebell work, is just pure strength training and stability. So it's just swings and kettlebell swings, which are really good for your lower back and your core and your everything, your entire posterior chain. I
found when I did a kettlebell session. I did 1 or 2 sessions, my pull-ups advanced overnight.
Oh, really?
Like, boom.
That's amazing.
It's a bit like swimming. Your swimming can just advance your endurance and stuff. But also with swimming, you can lose it.
Yes,
so if you don't swim for a week, it's like you're a novice when you come back.
It's frustrating, isn't
Even though you're banging out 10 or whatever amount of lengths at a time.
And so how far are you through the keto thing now?
This is my first week, to be honest.
So you've started.
I think I messed up the second day.
That's all right.
because I had a meal deal.
yeah, you messed up.
It's autopilot. I wasn't even thinking. I was just thinking, oh yeah. And I was thinking, wait a minute, you're meant to be. All right, we'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, being ex-military, I've never really had to worry about dieting because the regime of fitness that you do, you could just eat anything.
Yeah, right, okay.
But now, I suppose what we're doing now is more worried about aesthetics than actually performance. In that respect.
So you must be still a pretty fit guy. You ex-military, you say?
Yeah, but I suppose maybe compared to the average Joe my age, but there's a big part of this which is mental. So you're just doing what you're doing along that kind of shape of things. So how did it affect your work, your diet? What do you do for occupation?
I have a desk job. I work in marketing.
Okay.
And it's, what would I say? I think after the first few days, which were a struggle, as I mentioned, it was fine. I felt no impact whatsoever, no negative impact. A lot of people get worried about energy loss on a ketogenic diet. But actually I found it to be perfectly fine, and I was able to do my sport, which, as I say, is very high energy. I cycle everywhere, I walk everywhere most of the time.
You're really into your fitness, aren't you?
Yeah. So it was fine, but everything I do is from a fitness perspective and actually a mental perspective as well, is toward the sport, is to help me with badminton, because that's what I love. I don't love working out, but I love the sport and I love getting better. So I do everything to help me improve that.
So you put in all that work and you feel that you get that endorphin rush when you're performing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure. You said you were vegan. How long for, and why did you stop?
I was vegan for almost a year. It was about, maybe 5 years ago now. And I did it because and it's not because I don't like meat, because I love meat and I love cooking and I love handling meat and all the rest of it. So it wasn't to do with that. It was purely ecological decision.
The environment.
Yeah, and I just said, you know what, I want to try something different. And also, like I say, I really like cooking. And what I wanted to, and I like cooking a lot of Asian food, East Asian and Indian food, and they're basically vegetarian anyway. A lot of them. So I thought, actually, this is great for me. It will allow me to work on new recipes, cook more stuff. I'll be, learning new skills, and also I'll be kind of lowering my impact on nature. And that was it. It was just that, and I did it it was easy for me. I found it trivial. I really enjoyed it, and the reason I stopped was because my friend in Leeds, where I'm from, took me out one night and got me absolutely battered, and she took me to a fried chicken shop and she ordered me chicken, and I ate it because I was probably 8 or 9 pints deep, and she recorded me doing it. And film me doing it, and then put it on Facebook. Yeah, and showed all my mates and all the rest of it. But I got a taste for it again, and I couldn't resist.
Did you get scorned?
I did, yeah. They took the piss
by
out of me
the vegan world.
No, they didn't actually. I don't have any. I didn't back then have any vegan friends, or vegetarian friends. Maybe one, but no. Everyone was really. It wasn't. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I think
you're still mates with her.
Yeah, still friends with her. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Would you go back to being a vegan?
I would love, if I could stop enjoying eating meat and fish, I would do it in a heartbeat. And the reason is because particularly when I stopped eating dairy, not drinking dairy milk, which I drink a lot of tea and coffee. I drink maybe 10 cups of tea and coffee a day when I'm working, which is pretty bad. I get a lot of dairy, and I love cheese and I love cream. I eat a lot of French type food, and it is just terrible for you. It's just killing you. As soon as I stopped eating it, I could run further. This was like 2 or 3 days later, my breathing got better because I have not asthma, but in the summer when I have hay fever, I get asthmatic symptoms.
Would the same go for yogurt then?
Yeah, all of that. Just got rid of it. I just started eating Alpro yogurt, soy yogurt, and just immediately my skin cleared up. I felt more lively, felt more energetic. Just loads of things. The meat thing, in terms of having any impact, I didn't feel an impact when I stopped eating meat and started eating more vegetables, but I did feel an impact from not having dairy. So that if you were going to do anything to improve how you feel, I'd say just don't eat dairy.
Yeah, they say dairy forms mucus, which hinders your respiratory system.
Right.
Yeah, stuff, things like that.
That makes sense. Yeah, I felt less coffee, less phlegmy as well, which is good.
Yeah, and that's where you get a better performance.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So thanks for that interview.
No worries.
I forgot to ask you. You said you're in marketing. How's the marketing world today?
Right now, it's good. I work for an interior design studio, and we design mostly food, retail, and hospitality venues. So supermarkets. We design all the Aldi supermarkets in the UK, and we design Fortnum & Mason. So really high end, really low end, and everything in between. At the moment, it's going pretty well. We've got loads of big projects on. I can't complain at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Last question.
Yeah.
What's the impact you want to have on the world?
Oh, that's a good question. I am actually going back to university this next year. I want to study neuroscience, cognitive neuroscience.
Okay.
And I want to be a researcher. So hopefully I will have some direct impact on the world.
In the AI?
AI, yeah, robotics, that kind of thing.
There's an interview that you probably want to listen to. It's going to be coming out on this podcast.
Okay.
I interviewed a guy who worked for Microsoft for 14 years from 1994.
Wow.
And he was saying how those days you could just walk into Bill Gates' office.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I asked him what kind of he's telling us, he spoke about the future of what companies are trying to do now.
Yeah.
And they're trying to design AI cities and all these other things and that stuff. But it's a good interview.
Cool.
One thing that did strike me when I said, what did you think of Bill Gates? He said, well, Bill Gates has got a lot better now. Before he wasn't like really a people person.
No, I've heard that, yes.
And he said he had famous comments for like when you were doing something, you were talking and then you went off track, he'd just go next, or he'd look at you and go, do I pay you?
Jesus Christ.
That kind of thing. But I can understand, because if you're a mad scientist, you want everybody to be on the same level, and if they're not, you're just going to dump them. You need just mad scientists around you. But then, can mad scientists work together? It's like having the best of all
yeah,
football players,
exactly.
Do they produce a really good team, or are they all egotistic?
You need supporting casts, don't you? Supporting roles.
Yeah, that's good. I like the way you say that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again.
No worries.
And have a nice day.
Thank you.
We hope you liked that episode. Keeping in mind, we never know who we're going to interview. We post twice a day, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. GMT. Have you ever considered the future economies to invest in? Why not listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories? Considering Africa has the fastest growing economies and population on Earth, and has done for many years, it holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. We publish twice a week, Tuesday with a guest investor, and Fridays talking about investment, politics and history, providing a clear understanding for any potential investor.